But speaking of not being in the news and not
being able to figure anything out about it, you
got these UFOs.
Yeah. So now,
bunch of UFOs. Now we'll start off with this article that you sent me, that the White House is now saying. White House says leading theory is objects shot down were benign balloons as it tries to tamp down on conspiracies. Now,
and I'm sure everybody knows what this is.
I was going to say,
they shot down what they're calling a couple of high altitude craft. They're being very vague about it.
Yeah, the Pentagon was very vague about all of this shit.
One over Lake Huron, I think, and one up in Canada, and right.
And so there was one, up in above the Yukon.
So now, originally, you saw reports that they were like everything from oval to cylindrical or like octagonal. There's like all different shit I saw. Who the fuck knows at this point? But yeah, they're not telling you a whole lot.
But NORAD was scrambled to down these things. And so what they're saying is that that it was because of that Chinese balloon that they recalibrated their satellites, and so now they're able to detect things that they weren't really looking for at altitudes that they weren't really scanning.
They were like, no, we always had this capability.
Yeah, we just didn't want to use it.
We just never thought somebody would break the Geneva Convention.
The Geneva Dimension.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so. What first of all got me about this was they were being so fucking vague, but the fact that NORAD was scrambled, was used to scramble jets by Trudeau in Canada. Then one was in Alaska, one was over Canada, and then one was in Montana. They lost that one.
Oh, okay.
And then they thought that was probably the same one, but it might not have been the same one over Lake Huron, Michigan.
Okay.
And so, this was all within a few days of each other. And everyone was like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Now, a lot of people were saying it was aliens.
Yeah, which I think is somewhat unlikely, if you want my real opinion on the matter.
Yeah, now, it's not that I don't believe in aliens.
No, of course not.
We've talked openly about this on this show, but...
Bigfoot, ghosts, anything, whatever.
Yeah, my first, sort of... apprehension about that narrative was I don't think that they're going to be that easy to down.
No.
Something tells me interstellar fucking beings are not going to go down that easily.
Now, when, to get here from the nearest, other possibly inhabitable planet by any carbon-based life form that we understand, would pretty much involve traveling at the speed of light.
Or interdimensional.
Literally fucking bending time to fucking get here without a million years passing.
Yeah.
If you have that sort of capability, I doubt, that any ship you have is going to be susceptible to our weapons. And then also, why if it was just some sort of drone for surveillance or fucking whatever, you could park right outside the atmosphere somewhere, whatever, put your cloaking device on,
do something,
do a scan, you know what to do. It's
they don't have LiDAR, we have fucking LiDAR.
Exactly. we can determine the weapons capabilities of places on the other side of the planet. You know what I mean? Without having to send a balloon. I don't understand any of this.
None of this is making sense.
Why the balloons? I don't get it. And then, so at first, this article goes into it. We should look at this because this was when they're saying this was probably some kind of benign. Look, they're benign balloons.
Yeah, okay.
Because they're going to tamp down on conspiracies.
Yes.
All right. But it's what do you think? This is a giant national, probably international story, and whoever, some weather people somewhere sent up a weather balloon, which and then they're just not going to tell anyone.
The leading explanation among U.S. intelligence officials is that 3 objects shot down over North America last weekend were balloons being flown for benign purposes. The White House said Tuesday the furthest the administration has gone in describing the as yet unidentified crafts. Now, first of all, the fact that that's as far as you've gone, as far as trying to explain this to the public, is already suspicious.
There's one article, I don't remember if it's this one, that says that they were carrying payloads. So what the fuck does that mean? What kind of video game term is that to use? What are you talking about, a payload?
The 3 mystery aerial devices have consumed areas of the federal government since they were shot down over the past several days. The administration hasn't been able to say with certainty what they were doing, where they were from, or even what type of craft they were. Conditions ripe for conspiracies. Yeah.
Well, when you tell us there's unidentified objects that you shot down and you won't fucking say anything else
Yeah,
about
that
them.
you don't know how
This
to
is-
identify, but you shot them down and you still can't say what the fuck they were.
And this is what I thought from the beginning.
Yeah.
Just stop with the babe in the woods routine. Oh, we'd hate for you to run away with conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
No, that's actually, I think, exactly what you fucking want.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
because whatever is actually happening, here's the fucking scenarios, right? Let's throw the aliens out because it's stupid. But let's talk, like, if it's a spy thing from China. Again, why? What are you talking about? What,
Yeah.
Does this make any sense to anyone?
They know what we have.
Can they not?
They have people literally working for us.
Can they not obtain photographs of every square inch of the fucking world if they're a powerful government? Can they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other scenarios, and we'll get to the caller in just a second.
Yeah,
Hold on for 1 minute.
Hold on for just hang out.
The other scenario is this an inside job to justify expansion of the surveillance grid and military spending?
Yeah, because that's what
You
they're
know.
trying to do with it.
So whatever it is, you're not trying to stop conspiracy theories. This is I think is what they want. It's some kind of giant fucking confusion.
Yeah,
around
they
this,
always
like-
want confusion.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? You are on with Tom and Vinny. What's going on?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
We're doing all right. What's up, man?
Good. Well, actually, what I was going to mention is exactly what Vinny just got finished saying.
Ah.
So the second part of that is, well, obviously, you guys research everything. And what's the other hand doing? So we've got the mup, like the sock puppet on one hand going,
La, 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 la,
yeah,
la,
these
la.
are balloons.
Yeah.
So what else is going on that they just don't want to discuss? Because we're just going to get people frenzied over like UFOs.
David Box.
and they are. They're obviously UFOs because they won't tell us what the fuck they are.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
in,
and,
in the literal sense.
You know,
and I gotta tell you.
obviously, aliens are on board because even if they're from Canada, once they cross over that border,
They're aliens.
now
hey.
they're an alien. Obviously. So we're dealing with
China,
aliens.
but-
We just don't know what country they're from. And what's the other hand doing?
That's the question, right? What are they diverting from? Because it seems
Yeah.
like a pretty them being so.
But I don't like to read, and you guys seem to like to read. So just let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
All right.
This is JT.
Thanks for the call there, JT.
Thanks,
And
JT.
yeah, well, so that's that's what I was thinking.
All right.
All right. Great to hear from you there.
See,
Now,
that was
back
a
to
good
the
call. Yeah, that one worked. No, but that is what everyone's asking is, okay, what? Because if it wasn't, okay. Yeah, the question is, what is the diversion from? Is it intentional?
David Box made me laugh a lot. He said these things are all just put up there as a psyop to distract you from the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Which is.
Which was another thing. Very weird at the halftime show, at least the clips that I saw people posting and stuff. It was like they're just trying to make it look satanic as possible now. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know why they're leaning into this.
Yeah.
Like the Sam Smith Grammys and all this shit. It's like,
is it a joke, or
Is it-
are
yeah,
you
are they
just
like-
finally to the place where you realize like we can just be completely open about this?
yeah,
or, like,
I don't know what any of this
Yeah.
is, but Luke says some say it's the pipeline and some say it's Epstein's list. Now, the pipeline is something that is not being covered by any quote unquote credentialed media outlets.
Do they need a story like this to distract anyone from anything, though? Is everybody not already fucking distracted by just whatever?
By everything?
Just
Yeah.
anything. Just like, I mean, literally, we've been on the brink of war for how many months? Nobody can focus on that for more than 10 seconds, It's
Yeah,
like-
I know. Well, that's the thing is the news cycle is insane. Like, well, here, this is Connie's saying supposedly the Epstein list is coming out and all these things are to scare and distract. Who the fuck knows? But that's the thing is that's a giant story. But the thing is do you even have to distract anyone from that anymore? Nobody. The news cycle is so fucking quick nobody even gives a shit about it anymore. Like I do.
That's what I mean. Even
There's
if-
very few people that even care.
Even if they do give a shit, it'll last for a day or two.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can weather that. No, I know. It doesn't seem like like they really need that. Like they don't need to just the theory used to be back in the day of like, hey, this will dominate the 24-hour news cycle for long enough that the other thing, and it's like that's not it. None of this works that way anymore.
no,
you know?
no,
Yeah.
I know there is no. The news cycle is 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us. We're like on the cutting edge of journalism, and we're always fucking a month and a half late on every story.
No, and that's the best that it's possible to do.
That's the best we can do.
Yeah.
And so that's got to be the best anyone can do, really. Michael says if Rihanna's platform went any higher, she would have been shot down.
And he also was that Michael? Yeah, I like a while back. He just says they are geese.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Canadians. But yeah, the real stories here are not the now.
What's the real story?
The chemical spills, I think, should be a real story. I think those are being sort of swept under the rug due to conflicts with the giant donor class corporate interests. So we don't want to hear about those because the people that pay us, it inconveniences.
That was a bunch of good sounding words.
Thanks. And the UAPs, or whatever the fuck they're calling them now.
Oh yeah, they changed it, huh?
I think that's a clear attempt at muddying the water, just sort of giving some sort of is this aliens kind of thing.
So that's okay.
When it's just been proven that that the U.S. was in fact responsible for destroying the Nord Stream pipeline of Russia's months ago, where people were already saying that. People that were involved were saying, yeah, we were sent as special forces. People were saying, yeah, we did that at the behest of NATO.
Right.
And so when that comes out, it's not going to be good for anyone that was, responsible for it, who gave the fucking marching orders to do that. So that, they're probably just
they'll be a
buying
fall
time.
guy and
I know, that's the thing.
whatever,
But they're that's what I mean. They're probably like, put out some alien shit. And they're like trying to figure out how they're going to coordinate this fucking cover up or this, who's the fall guy, all that shit. They're just doing damage control.
There's another aspect of this, okay? Is it part of the whole, because we've seen, all right, past couple of years, they admitted that they've looked at UFOs and that they're some governments, I think there's a few countries where they've even come out and said, yeah, we've actually obtained downed
Yes.
craft.
Yeah, not of
and-
this planet. Or
Yeah,
something.
blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, this is starting when for like 100 years beforehand, they're like, nope, never heard of it.
Yeah.
And
And all the proof pointed to
UF
all-
what?
Yeah.
UF who?
Yeah. Huh? I don't know him. Never seen him. Never
Yeah.
met him.
Now watch this dog in a top hat. Top hat, I meant. Anyways, yeah. So I mean, that's for like 100 years, and then now. But all right, here my point is, it has been foretold. Okay, and what would you call it? Conspiracy lore of some type, or like a lot of different people that have come out from naval intelligence or things like this and said, look, there is this plan.
Bunch of navel gazers.
And it's pretty much the plot of the X-Files, right? Is there is this plan to, at some point, in order to facilitate the will of the people to bend to a one world government, right? Instead of
Yes.
having any kind of national sovereignty anymore, to unite the entire planet under one governmental body. We need to
Scare them
we need
into-
to
yeah.
scare them into thinking there's an alien invasion.
Yeah, that there's an
Is this
attack.
just part of that?
Well, that's what
Progression.
people like in the real conspiracy circles.
Yes.
I mean,
Those
you've said it.
people.
Beyond the Pale Horse. What is it?
Behold a Pale Horse by William
A Pale
Cooper.
Horse. There was the Iron
Ex-naval
Mountain
intelligence officer.
report from the Iron Mountain, or the report from Iron Mountain was another one where they were supposedly there was a committee that had got, assembled there in Iron Mountain nuclear facility or whatever, and discussed the possibility of a world peace and how that would be, completely against what they need.
Yeah.
And so how to stop that. And one of the things I believe that was said to be floated by this whistleblower who came forward, and then it, leaked all of the the whole agenda that was laid out there was a fake alien invasion. That was one of the things that,
Sure.
ultimately, if we have to, this was like the end game kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The guy that we watched that, in a documentary called Overlords, which was, a guy that claimed to have been working in the uppermost echelons of U.S. intelligence and sort of global intelligence, and had said that was, and this is the guy that had said that there would be a pandemic, a couple years before it even happened, and that there would be a virus released, and that it was being made in a lab, and blah blah blah. And he said it would be in 2018. It turned out to be 2019, but he also said that the ultimate agenda on that one is going to be some sort of technology that they've been perfecting, which is akin to the plot of Spider-Man Far From Home,
Yeah.
where Mysterio has these fucking drones inside of these advanced holograms
Okay.
that actually are shooting weapons. But it looks like something that in that movie it was like some sort of elemental creatures that were attacking the Earth. But this is what he was saying. So all of these people are saying the same thing, over years and sort of unbeknownst to each other. And is that where we're inching towards? Because now, if that happens, there's going to be so many people that are like, "Oh, got it." I had put out a couple of years ago, like, "Who's got Alien Invasion 2024?" Whatever,
Yeah.
like.
No, because if you kind of just step back and it's almost like looking at society, like you look at a Magic Eye poster or like a 3D
Yeah,
thing, and you
just diffuse
kinda, like,
your consciousness a little bit.
unfocus, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, probably aliens. Yeah. But who knows, dude? I don't fucking know what's going on anymore.
Nobody does.
I mean,
Nobody does.
it could be anything. That's the problem. Is I didn't think You would like to think that people wouldn't just automatically fall for some kind of alien scam, right? But I also didn't think the world would totally come to its knees for a fucking flu,
Yeah, what turned
Like,
out to be a pretty benign.
Yeah, dude, and I was thinking about that too.
It's insane, man.
I was thinking about how they could have, if you were testing a populace or an organism or whatever, the whole of humanity, if you were just sophisticated enough and had the software and ability to like test and gain a lot of information from our reaction to COVID,
Oh, yeah.
it wouldn't necessarily have to have anything to do. The information you got wouldn't have anything to do necessarily with a disease or that particular scenario. Like,
No, it would be the
you could
reaction.
you could extrapolate a ton of info
like
from
what
that,
are people willing to do
and how
when they're scared for their own life.
Yeah, dude.
That's really what that came down to.
and then they find out it's like, yeah, they'll police each other, they'll fucking
Shelter in place.
Yeah, right. They'll pretty much go with this as far as we take it. But what I'm saying is, like, do these things all tie together at a certain point?
I
where you
believe
go-
so.
Where who's getting?
Well, it's all the same people doing it.
It must be, right? It's gotta
Yeah.
be.
It ain't me.
But so they get that info, and then they decide, like, holy shit, we didn't even realize we could pull the, like, yeah, just do the alien thing. They're
They're like, oh, we're
They're
good.
fucking-
Yeah, we're
right.
good. They'll do it.
Yeah.
We did a flu. Now we just do fucking extraterrestrials.
man.
Now, Luke had just asked a question. He just said, trivia question. Under which president did Big Oil record their highest quarter profit? And I would posit a guess that it's this administration. I think it's Biden. I believe they just have had record, which is
Was
fucking
that-
insane.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, the gas was higher than it ever was, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But also he was like restricting access, so then of course the prices are going to go up when the scarcity goes up.
Is that right or not?
Yeah, are we
So-
right? Drum roll, please.
I'm not guessing because I'm afraid to be wrong.
Yeah, I would say under this current president.
See, I don't even
President
see that.
Biden.
I don't see that comment at all.
No? Well,
No.
Luke's been removed from the chat because he's a fucking quack and he's a conspiracy theorist. And
Oh, there it is.
That's
Okay,
all
yeah.
we know. Correct. Ding dong. I need a ding dong. I mean, I don't need a ding dong. I am a ding. There we go. Bringing back the old sound effects, folks. But yeah, I mean, this is all sort of looking like the culmination of any of these fucking books that have been out forever that have said what the plan that's been laid out.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. All of this shit is done by the same people that are at the fucking WEF Davos committee meetings behind closed doors. It's insane. Like, now that people are starting to know that that's a thing, just like the regular folk, not us. We've been in the know forever. You know what I mean? We're well,
Basically
we're
prophets.
journalists. Yeah, everyone does say that the right are the big oil guys. I think they're all fucking big oil guys. But yeah, this is again.
They're all oil people. They're all weapons people.
Yeah, they're all
That's the things that matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, before we go to breaks, we got about 7 minutes here. So on this topic of the UAPs that were shot down and everything, I saw. Okay, so there's a woman named Kim Iverson. I've brought her material on here before. She used to be on The Hill Rising out of Washington D.C., an independent news media source or platform. And they're actually pretty well very well credentialed. But she left because she was told that she couldn't bring up something during, when everything was misinformation that turned out to be true.
They probably told her she couldn't wear pants like Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah, slacks.
Like that's it.
Yeah,
Rob, I'm leaving.
But yeah, so let me take a look at this because she had a guy named Dr. Stephen Greer on. Okay,
I know this guy.
and yeah, Dr. Stephen Greer.
I've seen him before you showed him to me.
Okay, Vinny's in the know.
It's like, I know a lot about aliens.
But Dr. Stephen Greer has been in the ufology sort of sector forever. I believe he's now advised the Pentagon and certain, for years now. He's made some wild claims over the years of having like evidence of, alien autopsies, all of this type of shit. But he is still sort of regarded as one of the better sources on this subject.
Yeah.
So she had him on, and let's just we're not gonna have we don't have to take a look at all of it, but I thought it was interesting what he said because we've already kind of established we don't think that it was aliens, but let's just take a listen just to a few minutes. Of
I'm
what
going
he
with
says.
secret war with China or fake alien invasion to cause one world government.
Yes, these those are probably mine as well. But let's take a listen to what the fuck he's saying.
Or maybe they're aliens.
No.
What's the possibility of this? Well, there's no better person to ask this question to than Dr. Stephen Greer. Dr. Greer is a renowned figure in the UFO and extraterrestrial research community and is the father of the disclosure movement, bringing to light the vast testimony regarding the existence of extraterrestrial life forms visiting the planet. He's an emergency physician. Dr. Greer, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, so are these UFOs? You are the best person to be asking this question to. Are these extraterrestrial UFOs, I should ask?
No, they're not. And, one of the things that I think people have to understand is context here. In the last year, we have been providing definitive information to the key researchers in Washington who, by law now, have to provide a report on UAPs or UFOs. And what they have done is to get very much onto the inside of clandestine operations that have man-made objects that are deployed globally, that are not from extraterrestrial origin, but that are extremely advanced type of propulsion and energy systems. Now, this is never broken into the media because it gets taken out of the narrative or it gets shadow banned. The truth is, we have definitive proof, testimony, people who've worked on these technologies, some of which are reverse engineered from decades, 70 some years of reverse engineering actual extraterrestrial vehicles. But
okay, so let's just stop it right there and we'll just discuss. So first of all, he is saying, and this is what I wanted to say is even now I've heard this claim from somebody that is very close to the sort of military industrial complex, high up in it, who has basically said that all of these, like the Tic Tac, that those fighter pilots off the coast of San Diego, the ones over on the East Coast, all of these UFOs that people are trying to track, and they move, at these insane speeds, and they blip in and blip out or whatever.
Yeah.
That all of those are ours. And I was skeptical about that because I thought, well, the way that these things are moving, they defy physics. But
Yeah.
do they? They defy physics is how we know that we can,
Well, that's the question. Yeah, it's almost as though he's suggesting that there's technology beyond our wildest imaginations that exists only for a small number of people
illegally.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. Yeah, I don't know that I could believe that humans are capable of some of that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. So here, let's listen to one more minute of this.
Who
guy.
knows how lied to and deceived we actually are?
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? Honestly,
I don't.
maybe the world is fucking 10 times bigger than they tell us, and we just live on a tiny little nipple of it, and the rest of it's fucking awesome. And
Yeah.
just like we need these
It's just
people
their
to suffer.
playground.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, then. Yeah. Okay.
These objects, remember, they're going along at speed, and even the ones that have been in the media over the last few years, the so-called Tic Tac, and others that have been on CNN and everywhere else, those were from the Lockheed Skunk Works. Now, an actual extraterrestrial vehicle, you're not going to shoot that down with a kinetic weapon, and you're not going to shoot that down with a laser. It's going to take a very sophisticated directional energy weapon to do that, which they have. But this, I believe,
This is also
part of
just
it.
kind of just wild speculation. It's like nobody has proposed like, well, okay, if there was going to be some sort of alien invasion, they would definitely have to be like carbon-based humanoids that in some way
Well, no, this
like,
man
relate.
has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are people that say that.
Yeah,
But I'm saying it's whatever. The point
Yeah.
is like. It just sounds so nerdy. Like, well, you would have to
I
have
know.
a direct energy weapon in that case. It's like this isn't Dungeons and Dragons. You don't know. There's unlimited possibilities.
But that's
If-
the thing
if-
is he claims to know and have evidence and has for
he doesn't
decades.
know.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
No,
have you looked at his evidence?
Yeah, no, I understand. He's got a lot of interesting shit to say and
Yeah.
whatever. I'm just saying, I've also done my research and
Yes. Have you
I might
researched
have-
his research? So that's my question.
Yeah, I know I have read some of his
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember. I always get him mixed up with another guy who wrote Lonely Planets, who I don't like anymore.
Yeah, I don't actually.
but
like
I have
this
read
dude
some of his
too
shit.
much because of his wild claims in the past. But a lot of it sort of has borne out in
Yeah.
what other people came forward with. You know what I mean? Documents that have been released sort of backed up his evidence. His claims from years ago, and all of this type of shit that have been leaked. But hold on one second. Here, let's just.
and others that have been on CNN and everywhere else, those were from the Lockheed Skunk Works. Now, an actual extraterrestrial
Okay,
vehicle,
we already heard this.
You're
But
not going to
this-
shoot that down
Blah,
with
blah, blah.
a kinetic weapon.
That's
And
the
you're
other
not
thing
gonna
too. If
shoot
it
that
was
down
an
with
actual
a laser.
extraterrestrial
It's
and
gonna
there's
take
like
a
these
very
people in charge of this
sophisticated,
whole shit,
directional
I would
energy
like to
weapon
think
do
that they had a
which they
better
have.
plan than
But
like,
this-
if we don't know what it is, let's just shoot it down, like,
Yeah.
and provoke some fucking
Yeah,
intergalactic
they were just
war.
coming to
Like,
look.
yeah, maybe try communicating. Do that thing with the
Yeah.
xylophone.
Yeah,
From-
anything.
From First Kind. What was that from? Yeah, whatever.
Third kind.
Yeah.
Close Encounters of the Third
Try
Kind.
some of that, Do the lights from Independence Day. I know that got those guys fucking burned up, but still, give it a shot.
Yeah, we don't have to keep going with him. I was just getting to this part that what he's saying is that all of these things, the reason that they're even saying that they're even existing is because of these people coming forward, and then they had to make up a story about it because if they didn't, the budgets that they're using to develop all of this is highly illegal. It's not, you know what I mean? The money is not supposed to be there.
Oh.
The agencies that are using it are outside of the
This
parameters
is a
of the
scenario
law.
I had not considered. So you're saying whoever it was, a domestic, benign person, some kind of weather, whatever the fuck, some
Yeah.
people that study
Yeah.
weather, and they send the balloon up, and they inform them, and they go, nah, don't tell anyone.
No, well,
Because-
mostly the Tic Tac, all of the ones like the David Fravor.
oh, just those.
all the ones that are.
I thought we were coming to
really-
that conclusion about the balloons too.
I think those ones are probably just because those ones are like not going fast. You know what I mean? The pilots did report that they didn't have any form of propulsion that was visible and stuff like that. So maybe they're some part of these projects, but I do find it fairly because what we're talking about. So when we're talking about a possible hoax, to dupe the population of the Earth into thinking that they're under attack, well, then this would be something helpful to have things that appear to be outside of our, you know what I mean, capabilities technologically. That
Yeah.
would make the most sense, because then people are going to be like, holy fuck, what is this? You know what I mean?
Right.
When
Yeah.
they descend with these fucking crazy drones that can seemingly blip in and out of,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
I see where he's going.
And
now.
so-
yeah.
For them to be developing this, now he is claiming that this shit is all mostly back engineered from actual crafts that we have recovered.
Yeah.
And that, you know, that's where most of the, and this is another, you know, who knows? I don't know this, but
Yeah.
if you're going down that rabbit hole, that does seem like these balloons, I don't know. Again, this is, since we've,
Yeah, they don't seem very-
yeah, they don't seem very impressive.
No.
They seem
From what I've
pretty-
heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if they had a payload, I don't know. Maybe they were just fucking spying. What the, what? Yeah, nobody knows.
Well, they won't tell us.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
what
they're
do you
never
want?
going to tell us. So
No.
we got to do the digging.
Yeah, how? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, like, how would we really find out the truth about this chemical spill? We'd have to, like, fucking
Go there.
devote your entire life.
Yeah.
You'd have to go there. You'd have to learn a lot of stuff. You have to
Yeah.
make friends with a scientist. You have to coax
And I'm
him.
not making friends with any eggheads.
You have to like show up like he does to that guy in fucking Field of Dreams when he keeps knocking on that old guy's door. We're like, "Sir,
yeah.
you got to come with me, or Shoeless Joe
Yeah.
Jackson's gonna kill my wife, or
Yeah.
whatever it was."
No.
And, yeah, and
Go away.
you got to convince the scientist. You got to. It's just on and on, you know.
Now, Katie says, I mean, what even is a weather balloon anyways? Well, that's a pretty easily answerable question.
Yeah, it's something that was actually pretty much just invented to be an excuse for UFOs.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the whole
Yeah.
thing about a weather balloon.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
invented right around the time of fucking
Yeah, they invented it the
Area
day,
51.
the day after the Roswell crash.
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
They're like, no, that's a weather balloon. Quick, make a fucking weather balloon. you
A
idiots."
what? Why,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes,
We have these
one
data
right
collecting,
here. Yes, they're made out of foil and
Right.
and
Well,
yeah.
You didn't know?
Yes, they run on sarsaparilla.
Meanwhile,
it was the time.
Mac Brazel, the farmer whose land the craft crashed on,
Yeah.
comes out later and he's like, "That wasn't what fucking was
No, there was a
It was
fucking-
like they came and switched
Yeah.
it. That was like holding up like thin like
Yeah, it was
mylar,
like Mylar
and shit.
Yeah,
like,
it was not Mylar. It was
the guy.
well, we all-
The guy came out later. Yeah, the guy whose land it was, and was like that would looked nothing like what was. He's like, I don't. And by the way,
why would anyone think it?
that
did?
hasn't even been invented yet.
Yeah.
But no,
boy.
whatever. This
Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. Hey, you're on with Tom and Vinny. We're just about to go to break. What's going on?
Yeah, hello, this is Zach Brazel the 8th. Just wanted to let
Mac.
you guys know that weather balloons are not made out of sarsaparilla.
Oh no, they were fueled by
My
sarsaparilla, sir.
Great 8th grandfather did not waste his time making weather balloons.
Well, what are they made out
Precious
of?
materials to make
Zach.
two befuddled men think they were made out of sarsaparilla.
weather balloons.
Yeah. All right, Zach the 8th. Now, my first question is, why weren't you actually named after your great-great-great-grandfather, Mac? Oh, look, Zach.
Shit.
And that is the...
I realized I was
level.
about to talk about that, and I was like, I'll have to say his name because I just have to show that I know it.
Yeah.
Like that's,
Yeah.
I don't know, just a little trivia for you guys.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go. We got a bunch of shit. There's a fucking big development possibly in the Andrew Tate thing. We could get into that. We have animals running amok